Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your host for the next 2 hours, God willing and the creek don't rise. Welcome to another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. Today is May 6th, 2014. A topic that the MDs are talking about now, according to Medscape, is it ethical? Is it right for doctors to sell nutritional supplements? Well, according to Dr. Art Kaplan at the Division of Medical Ethics at the New York University Langone Medical Center, he says, I think it's wrong. If you look at the supplement world, it's unregulated and uncontrolled. That's a lie. That's just completely incorrect. Most of the claims that have been assessed turn out to be false in terms of giving you more resistance to the flu, improving your eye health, or many other claims that the supplement industry is notorious for. It's nonsense. This is all lies. And, you know, there should be a police, right? There should be some type of ethical police. I mean, this man's talking about ethics, and he's completely incorrect. There are hundreds of thousands of published research papers, research published in conventional medical journals, which prove the efficacy of nutritional supplements in botanical medicine. It's proven. It's not a question. It's academic. Of course, he didn't get exposure to any of this in his medical training because that's not what they do. And because the MDs are so full of themselves, because their hubris is legendary, and because they've monopolized the medical industry for the last 100 years, they have completely lost all sense of decency and all sense of perspective. They are 100% unapologetic about anything that they do, and this is a problem. So it's unethical for a doctor to sell nutritional supplements which are essential to human health. It's unethical for the doctor to put bring his scientific experience to bear and give a nutritional supplement the stamp of approval because, you know, it's entirely possible that the doctor, because of his education, because of his basis in science, and because of his fingers on the pulse of the nutritional supplement industry, which may be lacking from people in the lay community, it may just be possible that that doctor would have a better idea of which supplements were more effective than the patient does. But oh no, we can't do that. We can't bring any of our clinical experience into play there. So it's unethical to sell essential nutrients, nutritional supplements, which are in fact essential for human health. But it is entirely ethical for doctors to prescribe Vioxx, which killed 500,000 people. So where's the outrage there? When MDs prescribed Vioxx and it killed 500,000 people, where was the outrage? What happened? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I think Pfizer Pharmaceutical, that was responsible for that, paid some money in damages and civil claims. But MDs, nobody slapped the wrist of the MD, and there wasn't any, coalition of integrity-minded MDs mounting a war against the pharmaceutical industry. There was none of that. So it's unethical for doctors to sell nutritional supplements, but it's okay for them to prescribe therapeutics which are the leading cause of death in the United States. And it's okay for them to not to tout, but to force patients, to strong-arm patients into getting on board with chemotherapy for cancer. Even though an article in the Journal of the American Oncology, Journal of Oncology, I'm going to have to look this up. Journal of American Oncology said that chemotherapy is 97% ineffective. 97% of the time, chemotherapy for adult onset cancer does not work. So it's okay for MDs to prescribe chemotherapy, to make a profit on prescribing chemotherapy. It's okay for hospitals to make a profit on chemotherapy, which has been proven to be completely ineffective. It's been proven to cause cancer, and it causes way more problems than it fixes. It's okay for that to happen. That's ethical. But oh, no. We can't be messing around with nutritional supplements. This is a perfect example of the blind leading the blind. It's unethical for medical doctors to sell nutritional supplements, but it's completely fine for them to prescribe antibiotics for bronchitis, even though it's been proven that bronchitis has nothing to do with any type of infectious organism. Bronchitis has nothing to do with any type of infectious organism. So it's okay for MDs to do that, and in so doing increase the generation of microbes which are resistant to antibiotics. It's ethical for MDs to do that. It's ethical for MDs to hurt people as long as they do it with a prescription medication, as long as they do it with the standard operating procedure, as long as they color inside of their deadly lines. And this is what happens when an industry becomes monopolized, because there's no policing them. They can do whatever they want, and they are completely enrolled in their own reality so much that when their therapeutics fail, when their therapeutics harm, when their therapeutics bankrupt, when their therapeutics kill, they give themselves a pass. But they're all up in arms against the unregulated nutritional supplement industry. It's nonsense. Number one, the nutritional supplement industry is regulated. The Food and Drug Administration has regulations about what you can and can't do, about what you can and can't say, and about how you have to make stuff. Now, I don't think the regulations are nearly as stringent as they need to be. If I was the king of the world, they'd be 10 times more stringent. But that's not the point. The point is that this stuff has been researched, it has been clinically verified, it does work, and for anyone to stand up in a public forum and say the contrary, they should have their license revoked. I mean, if a medical doctor got up and said antibiotics don't work, that, anti-inflammatory medicine doesn't work, that pain medication doesn't work, and that it's all a fiction, drummed up by the pharmaceutical industry to make more money. These drugs do work, by the way. They do create a physiological response. If an MD was to say to the contrary, they'd be booted. They'd be kicked out of the medical industry, because you can't get up and lie about stuff like that. And if you are of the opinion that drugs produce no effect on the human body, then you're nuts. And you don't deserve to be a doctor. If an MD said that, they'd have their license yanked. But an MD can say whatever the heck they want to about anything that they want to outside of their own field of expertise, and they get a pass. So Dr. Oz gives us his opinion about, herbs. Dr. Oz gives us his opinion about nutrition. Dr. Oz gives us his opinion about exercise. Dr. Oz gives us his opinion about weight loss. And we all genuflect at his altar, because we think that the MD, by virtue of their education, have been granted some decoder ring to all things medical. This is the myth of the MD that we bust wide open here every single solitary day. Well, 5 days out of the week anyway. Every single weekday. It's nonsense, ladies and gentlemen. You've been sold a false bill of goods. If you've got a broken arm, the MDs can fix you, can help you with that. If you have a laceration or a burn, they can help you with that. If you really absolutely positively do need surgery, they can help you with that. But that's it. That's the long and the short of it. In a perfect world, it would be illegal for an MD to treat anything outside of trauma, emergency medicine, surgery when it's absolutely necessary, and a handful of infectious diseases. And now the world hue and cry is, polio is back. Polio is back. Well, years ago, the hue and cry was that pharmaceutical science cured polio, and that pharmaceutical science was the responsible agent for the eradication of polio worldwide. That was also a lie. Any infectious organism, you look at any infectious organism, it does not matter if it's a virus, if it's a bacteria, it does not matter what it is. Infectious organisms that create epidemics have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And their lifespan in the population looks like a bell curve. It looks like a bell curve. It comes out of nowhere, slowly builds, peaks out, and then slowly fades away. It might take 10 years for it to fade away. It might take 10 months for it to fade away. It might take 10 weeks for it to fade away, but it always fades away. Well, polio was fading away. Polio was at the very end of the bell curve when the Salk vaccine was introduced to the market, and the MDs claimed benefit from it. The resurgence of polio now, it's, probably some government experiment gone awry in Afghanistan or Saudi Arabia, or God only knows where, maybe right in your own backyard in Virginia. Who knows? But it's going to run its course, and then it's going to die of its own accord. But in the meanwhile, the MDs are going to bankroll this one into millions and billions of dollars of profit in treatments which ultimately are ineffective. Because remember, the MD treatment rarely, if ever, gets to the root cause of the disease. It does not get to the root cause of the disease. It simply manages symptoms. It simply pushes symptoms around. And this is why we're up against such unbelievable health problems here all around the world. Because what's the most expensive type of medicine? The one that doesn't work. The reason that we spend so much money in Canada, so much money in the United States, so much money in the United Kingdom on healthcare is because it's not healthcare. It's disease management with drugs delivered by close-minded, pedantic doctors who are wrapped up so heavily in a monopolistic medical industry that they can't tell their you-know-what from their elbow. We have given them way too much power, we have given them way too much credit, and we have given them our bodies for far too long. Sick and tired of being sick and tired and broke? Well, guess what? You're not alone. You want answers to health questions? You want to get educated about simple steps you can take right now? Steps which support and promote your body's ability to function optimally the way that nature intended it to? Stick around. You've come to exactly the right place, and that's exactly my game, Huckleberry. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. We're going to Melissa in North Carolina when we come back. This is May 6th, 2014, and Fire Your MD Now. Magnificent, out of the dust we came. What's the dust made from? Minerals. This is why minerals are 60%. 60%, two-thirds. Well, it's more than that. So it's two-thirds. What's that? 66% of your body's nutrient needs are minerals. Calcium, magnesium, iron, zinc, selenium, and stuff you've never even heard of before, like molybdenum, zirconium, americanium, hafnium, trace minerals. Your body is made from these. Only problem is the minerals that your body is made from are not found in the food. They're not in the food. Let me say it again. They are not in your food. So it is only a matter of time. Not all of them. Some of them are. They are not all in your food. So everybody who is not supplementing with a mineral supplement is nutritionally deficient. Everybody. I don't care if you're 1 second old. I don't care if you're 100 years old. You're not going to make it to 100 years unless you're doing something additionally to your diet to provide your body with minerals, and you don't even know it. This is how the longest-lived people in the world did it, right? The Vilcabambas in Peru, the Hunzas in Afghanistan, right? And I saw a post a couple days ago on Facebook about a woman now who's 115 years old. I think she's a Peruvian woman. And it shows a picture of her cooking a corn tortilla or something in a little hut with a wood stove. Well, what do you think she does with the wood ash? She puts it in the food. The white ash in the middle of the fire is called pot ash because, that's the hottest part of the fire is the middle. It's usually the part of the fire that the pot is hanging over when you're cooking with wood. So the ash in the middle of the fire is bone white because all the carbon's burned away, and the ash on the periphery of the fire is gray. So indigenous people, before the electrical revolution, would take the potash and put it in their soups, in their stews, in their bread mix, in with their flour mix, and they take the gray ash and put it in their gardens. Interesting, because wood ash is 99.999% minerals. That's what it is. So when you put wood ash into your food, you're mineralizing your body. Imagine that. An unmineralized body doesn't have a chance, a snowball's chance in hell. An unmineralized body does not have a snowball's chance in hell of living healthy, long life. Doesn't. I mean, could your car drive 100 miles if there was no oil in it, or if it needed 8 quarts of oil but there was only 1? How far do you think it would get? If the tires were only a third of the way filled with air, how long do you think you'd be able to drive on them? Not very long. If the power steering fluid was only a third of the way filled up, you would not even be able to turn the wheel. But we understand this when it comes to machines. We understand this when it comes to automobiles, but we're completely clueless when it comes to the human body, because we have all been enrolled in the thought meme, the cultural meme, the Monsanto meme, the General Mills meme, that you can get all the nutrients you need just from eating from the 4 food groups. Or wait a minute, maybe it's 5 food groups. Oh, I don't know. Dr. Oz says 6 food groups. That's what it is. Huff and puff, huff and puff. Oh, I don't know how many food groups there are. Not enough. Just eat more whole grains. That's what we say. You can get all the nutrients you need with Wonder Bread. Oh, it's fortified. And so, the blind lead the blind over the cliff of life into doom. Doom, I tell you, doom. And it's serious, right? Because this is a problem. Because we're not talking about political differences. We're not talking about religious differences. We're talking about life and death and suffering. You want to see how good conventional medicine is? Go to the old folks' home. Walk around. Take a gamble, ramble through there and just see the magic magnificence of modern medicine. And it's everywhere all the time, so much that we just think it's normal. We think it's the way that it has to be. We think it's the only way that it is. It can't be any other way, but it can be another way. Mineralize your body, for goodness sake. Give your body the raw materials it needs to have a fighting chance on the field of life. Your body needs raw materials in order to work the way that nature and God intended it to. Your MD is clueless about these distinctions. We aren't. We know exactly what you need. Think you're skeptical? You're not. If you really were skeptical, you never would have taken that prescription medication. But in any event, you want to give us a try. 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals, or Cherrymen's 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals. It's $19. Take 1 ounce twice a day for 2 weeks. And if you don't feel a difference in 14 days, I will eat my hat. Dr. Peter Glidden, this is Fire Your MD Now, and I promise you we're going to go talk to Melissa in North Carolina when we come back. Hey, that's us. Coming to the rescue. Gotta love longevity. Testimonials abound in Longevity Nation. Just stick around, folks. You're going to hear some jaw-dropping testimonials the longer that you hang out inside of the Longevity big tent. Because we color outside of the lines, and that's exactly what's necessary. Let's go to North Carolina, see what Melissa is up to. Hey, Melissa, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi there. I wanted to say amen to clueless doctors.
I know, right?
No, even at this point, they wonder how I lived through their shenanigans. I mean, even they have said that. How did you live through this?
What were their shenanigans?
Okay, so during a separation, I left a tampon in for 2 days, went to the doctor, immediately got sick, 10-plus rounds of antibiotics, and continued to be sick. And they kept saying, you look okay, you look fine. So, long story short, 12 months I carried around an infection embedded in my tube.
Wow.
12 months. And so the only correction for that, of course, was there many, many rounds of antibiotics. I had memory loss, breathing problems, developed heart issues, and a total hysterectomy except for my right ovary. Okay, so thank goodness there is an integrative medicine doctor here. He doesn't know how to help me. I mean, he at this point is clueless as well, but bless his heart, he put me on olive leaf extract, which now he believes may have saved my life.
Well, that's one thing. Yeah, okay, good.
Okay, so at this point, I have this rash on my arm, my torso, and the tops of my legs. I've been told it's toxins, petechiae, oxidative cell damage. I've been doing some of the Tangy Tangerine, and I'll tell you what all I'm doing in a minute, but I'm not doing enough, obviously, so I need you, because I'm going to get well, and then I'm going to show them what I did to get well.
Well, that's great, and I'm here to help, but I'm going to tell you what's going to happen when you do that, because this happens all of the time. Every naturopathic physician in the world has hundreds of these stories. Well, I'll tell you the story. I mean, my biggest one. I was 2 years out from medical school. I had a small little practice in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. A little girl came to see me. Her parents brought her to me. She was about 9 years old. She had a nasty neurological condition called reflex sympathetic dystrophy. You know, it's a disease of unknown origin, like 99% of all diseases. MDs are clueless about what causes anything, but they're really good at naming things, right? They're really good at categorizing things. So in any event, this girl had this condition from her waist down, and it made her nerves really, really, really super sensitive, so that, you know, if you just touched her lightly on her thigh, it felt to her like you just smacked her with a hammer. It's a bad disease, reflex sympathetic dystrophy. Her parents brought her to see me on a Friday. She'd been going to Children's Hospital in Boston for 2 years to be treated for this condition. They had absolutely no idea what to do for it. They would just prescribe her painful physical therapy, and every time she went there, she was attended by 12 doctors because it was a teaching school, and hers was a very rare case. 2 years of nonsense at Children's Hospital in Boston. Her parents bring her to see me on Friday. I'm burned out. It had been a very, very long week. And in order for me to treat somebody on a doctor-patient basis, the initial intake is an hour and a half. I have to collect a lot of information and then do research until I figure out what I'm going to do. So I looked at the parents and I said, "Look, I can't give this case justice right now. Come back and see me on Monday, and I'll give it my full attention." They said, "Doc, can't you please give us something for the weekend? Can't you just take a stab at it?" So I asked her a handful of questions, and I had an intuitive flash, and I prescribed for her a homeopathic medicine called Arnica montana. The homeopathic medicine cost me $10. I think I charged her $15, right, for the medicine. Very inexpensive medicine. I told her to take one dose 3 times a day for 3 days and then come back to see me on Monday, right? She comes back into the office on Monday. She is completely cured. I mean, it's gone. It's 100% gone. It's not even a little bit of it is there. It's 100% cured. It's gone. I couldn't believe it. Right. I thought, you know, what's going on here? Am I being played? But no, the parents were very honest, completely gone. So, you know, I waited a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 months. It's gone. It's gone. 10 years later, it's gone, right? I get Christmas cards from this kid every once in a while. "Dr. Clinton, thank you," right? It's gone. So, about 6 weeks later, she's due back at Children's Hospital, where she had been going for 2 years in a row, once, 5, 6, 7 times a year, seen by the same doctors. She walks into the room. She's cured. 100% symptom-free. The doctors were, their jaws were on the floor. They couldn't freaking believe it. They asked her what she did. Her parents were with her, and her parents said, "Well, we took her to a naturopathic doctor, and he gave her a homeopathic medicine." All 12 doctors got up and left the room. Not one of them asked her my name, my contact information, or, how to get in touch with me. I mean, I'm a phone call away. I'm in the same state, for goodness sake. It's not like I'm a secret agent. There was one doctor there from Israel who wanted to know the name of the medicine that I use, but not even he called me. So when you give them evidence of their inferiority and of their incompetence, when you deliver unto them direct clinical evidence of their incompetence, they do not care and they do not want to know. And mostly why they do not want to know is because they're scared to death of losing their medical license by coloring outside of the lines. They're more concerned with their own careers They're more concerned with their own paychecks than they are with the health and well-being of their patients. And this is a gigantic problem here in the United States. It's a dirty little secret that nobody in the medical industry wants to talk about. I have probably 20 more cases just like that. Direct evidence before and after. The patient goes back to the MD. The MD sees this unbelievable turnaround, and there is no communication whatsoever. So I understand your frustration. Believe me. I understand your motivation to smarten these guys up and slap them upside the head. But I'm telling you, it is an exercise in futility, because a tiger never changes its stripes, and the MDs, regretfully, don't give a damn. And this is why longevity is so important. This is why this radio show is so important. This is why Dr. Wallach is so important, because the people that should care for us do not. And they're unapologetic about it, right? And that's, I just don't understand how these people sleep at night. And it really gets my goat. But in any event, I don't want to take up the full segment just blathering on. But yeah, do you feel where I'm coming from?
No, absolutely. Right now, they're holding my medical records because they're afraid, because they understand they've made a mistake. So they're refusing to release medical records.
Well, your medical records belong to you, not to them.
I already know that, and they know that I know that. But I just told them I don't care about their games. I just want to be well. So I'm finished with them. We're going to move on, and we're going to you're going to figure this out. Longevity is going to figure this out, and I'm going to be well, which is what I need to be.
All right, so let's dial it in. How much do you weigh?
Okay, I weigh 192.
How tall are you?
I am 5'5.5".
What's your blood type?
O positive.
Okay, great. So this is what we do here for everybody, which is often an eye-opener for people, right? Because we've been convinced, really, by 100 years of medical monopolization of the marketplace, that healing is this complicated, sophisticated process that can only take place, after you've done thousands of dollars of diagnostic discovery and, and all this high-tech stuff. It's nonsense. Surgery is complicated. Healing is easy. So what we do with everybody, regardless of the diagnosis, regardless of the history, regardless of the severity or lack thereof, is we provide people with foundation medical nutrition programs, the intention of which are to support and promote their body's ability to fix the problem. Because our fundamental foundation position here is your body, my body, everybody's body, every animal's body, every plant's body, every living creature on planet Earth is endowed with a God-given ability to fix itself and to optimize its structure and function. And it is the naturopathic physician's job to support that process and get the hell out of the way. So, you would benefit. One of the things that makes longevity so effective is that, and this was an eye-opening moment for me when I realized this. This was when I had one of my aha moments. Dr. Wallach, of course, who's the founder of longevity, a brilliant pathophysiologist, brilliant physician, was a world's leading veterinarian before he became a naturopathic physician. He was in charge of $25 million of federally funded research. I mean, he was unbelievably knowledgeable in his specific field of veterinary medicine. What they do in veterinarian medicine that they don't do in human medicine is they dose things appropriate for body weight. Nobody in integrative medicine does this. Nobody in naturopathic medicine does this. Nobody in holistic medicine does this, and this is a big deal. So, one of the secrets to our success here is that we give everybody the right stuff in the right amounts. Because if you're 300 pounds and you take a 50-pound dose, well, it's probably not going to work, or it's going to take such a long time. You're just going to give up the ship, right? So, for 3 months, the recommendation for you would be to take a 200-pound dose for 3 months, 200-pound dose. So that's what I'm going to dial in. Now, if you can't, I have no idea what your budget is. If you can't afford the 200-pound dose, then cut it in half and just take the 100-pound dose, and then you call me back in 4 weeks and I'll tweak the program. Okay, so you ready to write?
I am.
All right. I appreciate your trust, Melissa, and I appreciate the phone call. So here's the deal. Number one, you have to eliminate 10 foods. There are 10 foods that you must stop eating, that everybody in the world must stop eating. And you can get that list for free on my website. Just go to the... Okay, great. So stop eating those 10 foods, number one. Number two, to support and promote the structure and function of your body with extra emphasis here on your immune system and your skin, the recommendation would be two anti-aging healthy start packs, original formula. 2 anti-aging healthy start packs, original formula.
Okay.
4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium. 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium. And 1 bottle of Projoba, Projoba Omega. 1 bottle of Projoba Omega. That's an essential fatty acid. So 2 anti-aging healthy starts, 1 Projoba Omega, and 4 Ultimate Selenium, plus eliminate the 10 bad foods. Now, did the integrative doctor put you on any type of probiotic supplement?
Well, I've been taking Tangy Tangerine, and I've been taking Cell Shield, but I did all this by myself, which is why I need you. And I've seen some progress, like my energy's up.
Yeah, good. But so have you taken probiotics at any...
Yes.
Well, how long ago was your last dose of probiotics?
I take them daily.
Okay, so I want you to take them at night before bed. And did you get them in the refrigerated section at the health food store?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, that makes you the smartest girl in North Carolina. I want you to take 1 dose of that immediately before bed, and I want you to take 1 dose of that first thing in the morning. Do the anti-aging healthy start pack, the selenium, and what was the last thing I told you to take? The Projoba Omega. Do that for 21 days in a row. Call me back, and I'll tweak it more if I need to. I don't think I'm going to need to. Give that a try, Melissa, and let me know how it goes. 6th day of May, 2014. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Dr. Peter Glidden. I'm a licensed naturopathic physician. I have 25 years of clinical experience, a proud graduate of Bastyr University of Naturopathic Medicine in Seattle, Washington, where a rising young longevity star, David Sullivan, will be matriculating this September, God willing, and the creek don't rise. Let's go to California now and talk to Nathaniel, see what's going on. Hey, Nathaniel, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hey, how's it going? I have a brother who's he has asthma, low thyroid, high blood pressure, anterior ovitis, and he's autistic.
Poof.
And,
is he blind? Is he blind?
Yes.
Yeah. Boy, how old is he, man?
34.
Yeah. So, any other brothers or sisters? And is he the youngest in the family?
No.
Okay. How many people are in the family?
Around, he has 3 brothers and 3 sisters. Six in all, 6 total.
And where does he fit in the lineage?
He's my older brother. He's third.
He's the third. And there's no other autism? No other autism in the family?
No other autism.
Okay. All right. So from our point of view, right, autism, it's called the autism spectrum, and you can be just a little bit autistic, you can be super autistic, or you can be somewhere in the middle. We believe that autism is caused by faulty nutrition in the blood of the mother while the baby is developing in the womb of the mother, and therefore it's the obstetrician's fault. It's not the mother's fault. It's not the family's fault, because it's not their job to know these things. It's the doctor's job to know these things. The MDs are completely clueless about this, and while we're under their care, autism has risen from 1 out of 10,000 to 1 out of 80 or 1 out of 50, depending on how you crunch the numbers. It is an obscene failure. on the part of the MDs that has completely been overlooked by the media. They sweep it under the rug. It can't be the doctor's fault. It has to be the patient's fault. There has to be some mysterious autism gene that we haven't yet discovered. It's nonsense. So, look, man, there's only so much that you can do for anybody with this condition because it's baked into the cake, right? I mean, they were born with it, and there's a certain amount of that nobody's ever going to be able to overcome unless with some divine intervention. However, everybody's body needs to be nutrified. Everybody's body has an ability to optimize its structure and function. I have no idea where the point of no return is. I used to think I knew, but I don't anymore. So even with really difficult things like this, medical nutrition is never, ever, ever a bad idea. So my recommendation is give a good medical nutrition program a try for 90 days. And look to see if it improves your brother's quality of life, mood, energy, sleep, whatever, maybe vision, right? There's a CD that a medical doctor recorded out of respect for Dr. Wallach because he had 10 of his patients who were legally blind who got on board with medical nutrition, and every single one of them recovered their sight. And he was so dumbfounded by this turnaround that he recorded a CD for Dr. Wallach called Seeing is Believing. So look, I don't know, where the point of no return is, but it's not going to, this is like never fail fudge, man. There's no harm and no foul here. How much does your brother weigh?
Around 172.
Okay, so here's what I would recommend as an experiment for 90 days, right? As an experiment for 90 days. 2 healthy brain and heart packs. 2 healthy brain and heart pack original formulas. 2 healthy brain and heart pack original formulas. And 4 bottles of selenium. 4 bottles of selenium. That's S-E-L like Larry, E-N like Nancy, I-U-M. And 2 healthy brain and heart packs, original formula, plus eliminate the 10 bad foods. Are you coming to us through Benny Hinn? Is that how you heard about us?
Yes.
All right, so I want you to call this number to order the supplements. Otherwise, you're going to pay the full retail price, and you don't want to do that. Call this number, and this will support the Benny Hinn mission. 800-691-1730. 800-691-1730. Tell them Dr. Glidden sent you. They'll tell you how to take the supplements and hold your hand. Keep your fingers crossed, Nathaniel. Thanks so much for the phone call. Give me a call back in about a month with a report. I will look forward to it. Hour 2 coming up, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to kick it off in Maine with Rose, so stick around. It's the second hour. May 6, 2014. I'm your host, Dr. Peter Glidden. Give my website a try. Why don't you? FireYourMDNow.com. If that's too caustic for you, just go to drglidden.com. That's Glidden, just like the paint. No relation. Glidden. On my website, I have a ton of free information. You can reference all of the radio shows that I've ever done, listen to all of the radio shows that I've ever done, type in a keyword, and it'll pull up when I've talked about that on the radio show, and that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. And if you want to lay down some hard-earned moolah, $20, baby, you can become a subscriber to my Insider subscription service. Cancel at any time, $20 a month. You will have immediate access to over 100 hours of archived health webinars and 3 to 5 hours of live webinars that I do a week. 3 to 5 hours of live webinars every week that you can use to help yourself kind of insert yourself into the holistic health community all around the world, and to be amongst like-minded individuals all around the world. We need support because remember what my cousin Ben Franklin said, unless we hang together, most certainly we will hang alone. Let's go right to the phones again. We're going to go to Maine up there and see if there's any good lobsters up there. We're going to talk to Rose. How are you, Rose? Thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi. First, I just want to thank you because I had no hope until I heard you on YouTube when you spoke with Alex Jones.
Oh, you're welcome very much. So that's how you found us? Great.
Yes. Yeah. In the mid-'90s, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes.
Yep.
And now they tell me I'm a type 1. Because I was
Great.
so thin.
Yeah.
I was overweight, and now I went in the hospital in January. I was like 90 pounds. So now I'm on Lantus, and I'm not crazy about being on that because I heard within 2 years it can cause cancer.
Yeah, well, right. So it's kind of like the cocktail that the MD offers up. It's, die now or die later, right?
Right. So, I really don't have a choice. I guess I don't know what to do.
Well, you do have a choice, but not inside of conventional medicine. You've got zero choices inside of conventional medicine, and that's why we exist, right? To provide alternatives to conventional therapeutics. Now, if I had to pick blood sugar issues, let me just say this. Blood sugar issues are in my top 10 list of the easiest things to help the body recover from. It is very, very easy to optimize the function of the body's ability to metabolize blood sugar. There was research done in the 50s and that was followed up in the 70s, which unequivocally shows that your body's inability to metabolize insulin is caused by mineral deficiencies, chronic mineral deficiencies, period.
What if I am a type 1 now, though?
Well, I'm not so sure that you are. I know that the MDs think that you are, okay?
Yeah.
So, and it's possible that you are. But even if you are, the problem with type 1 diabetics is the insulin. Now, insulin is not the Antichrist. Your body makes insulin, and without insulin, we'd all be dead. The problem with injectable man-made insulin is that it's a little bit different than God-made insulin. It's a little bit different than the insulin that your body makes. And the problem with insulin is how much insulin you need in order to make it through your day. And if you follow the advice of the MDs, you're going to need more and 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 more insulin. And then they're going to switch it to a different type, and then they're going to add another drug, and then they're going to switch it to a different type, and then they're going to add a third drug, because your body's ability to metabolize this crap is going to decrease with the passage of time.
Well,
and
they have to decrease it because I wake up some mornings and it's really low. One morning it was 30.
Yeah, so all right, good. So the game is afoot here, right?
Yeah.
And so either way, if your body can no longer produce insulin, and time will tell. I mean, if you're on my program for 12 months,
okay,
and your body is no longer able to produce insulin, then that's baked into the cake. But the good news is that even if that's the case, worst case scenario, when you get on board with the proper medical nutrition program, your body will be able to metabolize the insulin that you do need to inject much more efficiently, which will allow you to use much less injectable insulin, which will benefit you greatly moving forward, because the problem with man-made insulin is the amount that you need to inject. And the more that you need to inject that stuff, the worse the side effects become, and that's a big bad voodoo daddy. So if we can optimize your body's ability to absorb and utilize man-made insulin, that's great, right?
I've just started on the the health pack, the starter pack, this past Saturday.
Okay, great. So now the thing with longevity is, right, that we need to do the right healthy pack when we begin. We need to get on board with the correct healthy pack in order to maximize the results, the intended results here. So you're 100 pounds now, more or less?
105 now.
Okay, so my recommendation for you dealing with this issue would be one healthy blood sugar pack. One healthy blood sugar pack. There are a lot of different healthy packs, and they all have a similar foundation, to which then is added extra stuff depending on what we're trying to optimize. So, for instance, there's a healthy bone and joint pack, right? There's a healthy digestion pack. There's a healthy heart pack. There's a healthy anti-aging healthy pack, and there's a healthy blood sugar pack.
And there's nothing in there that would make me lose weight, right?
No, quite the contrary. Quite the contrary, right? Because all of this, and this is a very important thing to understand, Rose, okay? What medical nutrition does, holistic medical nutrition, and that's what we espouse, holistic medical nutrition, that's an important caveat. Holistic medical nutrition is different than any other type of nutrition, and holistic medical nutrition supports your body's efforts to optimize its structure and function.
Okay.
When we do holistic medical nutrition appropriately, there's no negative side effects. There are a lot of primary effects. You feel better, you gain weight, or you lose weight, whatever your body needs to do. You sleep better, your energy's better, your mood's better, your memory's better, digestion's better. Everything brightens up, including, in your case, your body's ability to metabolize blood sugar. So there's no harm at all in medical nutrition. Quite the contrary, because what we're doing is giving your body a leg up and then letting the body do what nature intended it to do, right? And then that's really just a really great thing to do, no matter which way you cut it. So my recommendation for you would be every month to do 1 healthy blood sugar pack, original formula, and 2 bottles of Ultimate Selenium, S-E-L-E-N like Nancy, I-U-M.
I did start on that one. Yep.
You need 2 a month. That's 6 a day. Okay, 6 a day. And 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals. That's $20 a month, plant-derived minerals. Now, in addition to taking those supplements into your body every day, you also must stop eating food that's gumming up the works.
Okay.
And hands down, the biggest offenders for you would be wheat, barley, rye, and oats.
That includes oatmeal.
Yeah, regretfully. You need to go gluten-free.
Okay.
So, right, you got to start shopping for gluten-free cereal, gluten-free bread, gluten-free pasta, gluten-free crackers and cookies and whatever, right? Or, what's your blood type? Do you know what your blood type is?
I don't.
Okay. So, if you are blood type O like Oscar, you may also benefit from completely eliminating carbohydrates altogether, just no grains at all. You might want to try that as an experiment at some time in your walk through the rest of your life. You may want to try for 4 weeks in a row, just no grains at all, even if they're gluten-free, 0 tolerance for grains, and see how you feel. So there are 10 foods. Wheat, barley, rye, and oats are 4 of the 10 bad foods. The other 10 bad foods, you can get that list for free on my website. So just visit my website, scroll down the front page until you hit the link for the 10 bad foods, okay? And then download that and eliminate all of those foods. Take these nutritional supplements, and the only thing you need to be concerned about is, of course, measuring your blood sugars, right? You have to just stay on that horse. You have to be disciplined about measuring your blood sugars and adjusting your insulin dose appropriately. Because once this program kicks in, it might be 2 days from now, might be 2 weeks from now, might be 2 months from now. Once this program kicks in, you're going to need remarkably less insulin because your blood sugars are going to get better and better and better and better and better. So keep measuring that stuff every day and adjust the insulin appropriately as the MDs have trained you to do or educated you to do. Hopefully they educated you to do that, right? Did they do that?
Yes.
Okay, good. So just, give this a try, because with medical nutrition, we have to take the right stuff in the right amounts, and we have to stop eating food that interferes with it. And so the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack, selenium, and plant-derived minerals is a perfect plan for you for the next 90 days. Give it a try, see what happens to your blood sugar. But also, Rose, remember, this is a holistic program. So if it works, when it works, you should experience positive effects kind of across the board, right? Mood, energy, sleep, appetite, weight, etc., etc., etc. So just be mindful of how your body responds. And once you gain some positive foothold, right? Once something brightens up, just maintain the discipline. Might take 6 months, 9 months. I don't know. Might take 6 weeks. I have no idea for your blood sugar to roll around. But once you start to feel improvement, just stay on the program, because it's only a matter of time until your body optimizes its structure and function to the ability that it's able to at this point in life. And, Rose, do me a favor, if you feel so inclined, every 3, 4, 5 weeks, call me back and tell me how it's going. We can keep,
oil
live
okay?
progress here.
Is coconut oil?
May 6, 2014. We're into the second hour here. I think Rose had a question. Let's go back to her and see what's up. Rose, did you have a question about coconut oil, I think?
Yeah, I was wondering if it's okay to do that, and I also had a question about distilled water.
Okay, so distilled water is a big bad voodoo daddy unless you use it for your iron. You can use purified water, you can use filtered water, but don't use distilled water, because distilled water has no minerals in it, and distilled water will set up a reverse osmotic gradient in your body, which will leach minerals out of your system. And so it's not a good idea to use distilled water. We're all about, clean water and purified water. So my advice to you would be investigate a Big Berkey filter. The Big Berkey filter, that's a pretty good one. Don't spend a lot of money on the alkalinizing water makers, because you don't need that. You just need to drink good, clean, purified water that has stuff in it, and the distillation process takes all of it out. So you want to get away from doing that.
Okay, and my liver and gallbladder, I don't know which one it is, but it feels inflamed.
Yeah, well, probably is. I mean, it could be. There's an acupuncture point, an acupressure point on the outside of your right calf. And if you do a Google search for acupuncture points, and, all kinds of diagrams will show up. You want to look on the right leg for the gallbladder point. And then you just want to poke around on your leg in that vicinity and see if you hit a hot spot. And when you hit a hot spot, you'll know it. Because when you press on that hot spot with your finger, even just gently, it'll feel like, oh my God, I'm glad someone's not torturing me, because if they touch that point a little harder, I'd give away all the family secrets. It hurts so much, right?
And can that cause your skin to feel like, if I even take a shower or I get goosebumps, my skin feels like I have rope burn?
Well, all right. So look, there's a lot going on here for you. There's a lot going on here because your body is completely undernutrified.
Oh, okay.
You're completely undernutrified. So your body right now is a wild card, which is one of the beautiful things about holistic medical nutrition.
Yeah, I'm suffering.
Right, in many different areas, right? Not just blood sugar. So when you finally, thank God, for the first time in your life, fill your body's nutrient tank up, and stop eating food that's creating low-grade inflammation, like coconut oil, by the way. We don't recommend it.
Okay.
No oil. We have zero tolerance for oil. We're fans, however, of butter and lard. So you can cook things in a fry pan with butter or with lard. Just go crazy with that. We're real big fans of butter. We're real big fans of eggs and salt. You want to be salting your food so that it tastes good.
Do you guys recommend a good cookbook? Because you tell us all that we can't have.
Well, there's only 10 things that you cannot have. Only 10 things that you cannot have. So really, it's not that difficult.
Okay.
When you're cooking stuff, in a fry pan, you just have to use butter or lard. I mean, that's really as easy as it gets.
Do you have a favorite cookbook you'd recommend?
My fiancée does, but I can't remember what it is. Maybe she'll text it to me.
Okay.
And then I'll. So keep listening for the rest of the hour. I'll try to dial that in for you.
I will, and I will call you back.
All right. I'll look forward to it. Expect, improvement across the board. In drips and drabs, right? Okay, a little bit better here, a little bit better there, a little bit better here, a little bit better there, and that's how we slice and dice it. Thanks so much, Rose. Thanks for the call, and best of luck. Madru is back all the way from California. I think there's a bad audio connection, though, so let's see. Hey, Madru, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Well, good afternoon, Dr. Glidden. How are you?
I am good, but I'll get better. Thanks for the phone call, Madru. What's shaking?
Well, I love seeing you at the convention.
Yeah, it was fun, right? The convention was a good time, yeah.
I know. You brushed right by me. I said, brush by you. Listen, I have a lady. She's in her 60s. She's about 5'4", 180. She has thyroid problems. She has high blood pressure. She has diabetes. She has something else too: thyroid, diabetes.
Isn't modern American medicine just the greatest?
Isn't I know.
I mean, right? She's got all these conditions while she's been under the care of the MDs her entire life, right?
Cholesterol problems too. Yes. And I was going to recommend. I said, well, let me call my doc and just see what's up.
All right, so in complicated cases like this, again, we lean on holistic medical nutrition because when we dial in any healthy pack, we're covering a lot of bases all at once. So anybody that has any type of blood sugar issue, we deal with that first. We optimize blood sugar metabolism first. So you want to start her with the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack and selenium, appropriate for body weight. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. And that's a good program for the first 3 months. Got to check the website out, friends. And by the way, we do webinars for subscribers only. But this Thursday night, that's 2 nights from now, we're doing a free webinar for the world. A free webinar for the world, which explains why the 10 bad foods are bad. An explanation of the 10 bad foods for everybody and their neighbor this Thursday night. Just visit my website for details about how to log on to this webinar for free, and in so doing, get a taste of what your subscription to my website will give you. You don't know what you're missing. You're going to love it. Dial it in. It's free. Why not be there? It's a worldwide community. The last time we did a free webinar like this, we had over 300 people from all over the world. That's 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time this Thursday night. Let's go back to California and finish it up with Madru. Anything else, Madru?
Yes, she has thyroid problems. She has cholesterol, and she has high blood pressure.
Thyroid, cholesterol, high blood pressure. So the only other, and how much does she weigh?
She's 5'4", and she's about 180.
And there's a blood sugar issue as well?
No, the blood sugar issue, yes.
Yeah. All right, so I would start with 2 healthy blood sugar packs and 1 extra bottle of the white liquid calcium, the Beyond Osteo FX. And, I'm leaning towards the liquid Beyond Osteo FX. You've heard that, right?
Yes, I've heard that.
Yeah. It's too bad they don't have the 2.0 bundled with the liquid, but they don't. Yeah, I know, but I don't know that they're
maybe
ever going to
change.
Yeah, well, maybe maybe one day. You're a glasses half full kind of a girl, aren't you, Madru?
Yes, I am.
So that's what I do. I do a couple of healthy blood sugar packs and an extra bottle of the white liquid calcium. Eliminate the 10 bad foods, and keep your fingers crossed.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you're welcome, Madru. Appreciate the help. Appreciate your stand for the health of everybody in your neighborhood. I might have misspoke earlier. I'm not sure. It's this Thursday night. That's 2 nights from now. Today being Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That means the date is Thursday, May 8th. Thursday, May 8th at 8 o'clock Central Time. A worldwide free webinar, the 10 bad foods and why they're going to kill you. Hey, guess what? Our old friend Alaric from Texas is back. It's been a long time since he's called. Hey, Alaric, thanks for the call, man. How's it going and what's up?
Yes, fine, thank you. I'm just calling. I'm thinking I might have to start over again.
Oh, that's impossible.
Well, because I still have this swelling after this operation. It's been almost 18 months. And I tried the KB formula to clean out my kidneys. I'm drinking the fast food. I'm eating eggs.
Where's the swelling?
The swelling is it's in my feet.
It's in your feet.
Yes, both feet are swollen.
What was the operation for?
They cut off my toes.
I hate it when that happens. Why did they do that?
Yeah. They got an infection. They tried to blame sugar. They probably was right. There was some sugar problems that bothered with the infection.
So was there? So before the operation, was there swelling in the feet?
Yes.
Okay, and all right. So tell me something that has improved, Alaric. What has improved since you've been on this stuff?
Oh boy.
Mood, energy, appetite, sleep, weight.
Sort of my appetite, yeah. Yeah, I could say that. My appetite, I'm eating better.
Are you needing to take less insulin, or what's going on with
well,
that?
I stopped that. I don't even take it anymore.
You don't? Well, that's an improvement. So how are your blood sugars?
It's like 90-something, so it's going down.
Yeah, so there you go. So you've gotten on the other side of the blood sugar issue, right?
Sort of. I'm almost there, I would say. I'm almost there.
Well, or if you're not off of your insulin, I'd say you're pretty much all the way there. All right, so how much do you weigh, and which packs are you taking every month?
I'm 200 pounds, and I finished the KB. I'm taking the Ultimate Daily. I'm taking the Caltati, the Sweeties. That's the Ultimate Daily, the EFA Plus, and Selenium.
Yeah, okay, good.
And the BTT.
And are you staying away from all 10 bad foods?
Yes, and I fry with butter, and I'm trying to get up to 6 eggs a day.
And you're using salt religiously, right?
Oh, yes, definitely.
You experiencing any heartburn whatsoever?
Nope.
Okay. It's very interesting. See, here's what I want.
You said to me before I have a low-grade inflammatory, something inflammatorying me.
Well, everybody does.
I ordered some Immoralium.
Immortalium? Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. All right, so here's what I would like you to do, all right? I want you to do a breathing technique for 5 or 10 minutes twice a day. It's a breathing technique. It's going to help with your circulation, and I'm going to teach you how to do it right now. You ready?
Yep.
All right. So it's a big inhalation through the nose, and the key here is at the top of the inhalation, you want your chest to expand. You want your chest to expand at the top of the inhalation. And then when you exhale, you blow out slowly through your mouth. Slowly through your mouth. Relax your chest down. Big inhalation through the nose. Then exhale through the mouth, and at the top of the inhalation through the nose, you want your chest to expand. You want to actually feel your chest expanding at the top of the inhalation. Now, here's how I want you to do this. For 2 or 3 days, I just want you to, be sitting down somewhere or standing up somewhere or leaning on the rail or doing something where you're just focusing on the breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth. It's not a hyperventilation, just long, slow, and steady breaths. In through the nose, raise the chest, out through the mouth. Life is good. Once you've perfected the rhythm of the breathing technique, and once it's, you don't really have to think about it anymore, then I want you to slowly do some type of physical exercise. Like, bounce up and down on your feet, rock back and forth from the front of your foot to the back of your foot while you're holding on to something so you don't fall over. Or walk in place. Or go for a walk around the block while you're taking the breaths in and the breaths out. 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon. What this does is it stimulates your lymphatic system. And your lymphatic system is one of the systems responsible for draining tissue in the body. This is a lymphatic stimulation technique, and I think you just need some new-fashioned physical medicine. I don't think you need anything extracurricular with the nutritional supplements, Alaric. I think you need to just get your lymphatic system moving, and this is a most excellent way to do it. But the key to this protocol is expanding the chest at the top of the inhalation, okay?
And this is 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah, 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening, kind of like a little exercise program, right? Right?
Uh-huh.
Kind of like that. You're really going to feel energized after you do it. You're really going to feel energized after you do it. And if you have the ability, do it outside so you can breathe in some nice fresh air while you're doing this. It's a really great thing. So do this religiously for 14 days and call me back.
All right, and do this also while I'm walking around. Like
Well,
the park
first,
or something?
yeah, you can do it. I mean, you can do it 100 times a day if you want. There's no problem. But I want you to be religious about it for 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the afternoon. Now, you want to do it 50 times a day? Fantastic. No problemo. But, I want you to just kind of slowly get into the habit of doing this, and it works way better while you're exercising. So give it a try, see what happens, and give me a call back with a report.
Will do. Thank you.
All right, Alaric, I appreciate your trust. No kidding. Lindsay from Michigan is up next. She wants some advice about teaching. What the heck is up with that? Hey, Lindsay, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. I decided that I'd like to be a naturopathic doctor, and I'm wondering if you have any advice for me.
Boy, it's too bad I don't have my sound effect board hooked up right now, because I'd give you a great big round of applause. Well, I do have advice, and it may not be what you want to hear, but I'm going to tell it to you anyway. Okay, how old are you, Lindsay?
I'm 23.
All right, and you've recovered. You used to have like 100 seizures a day, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have any more, right?
I have one maybe like once in a while, but not nearly as much as I did before.
Yeah, you got to love it. Excellent. Well, all right, so at 23 years of age, so here's my basic take on all of this, right? Mm-hmm. There's something in the world that I believe in. It's called Dharma, right? And your Dharma is your path through life. Everybody is born onto good old planet Earth with things that they're strong at and things that they're weak at and things that they can contribute to the world. And, I think one of the goals of life is to figure out what your path through life is, what your piece of the puzzle, of the jigsaw puzzle of life is, and then to just go for it. And when you are in step with your purpose on life, everything falls into place. The pieces just kind of automatically fall into place, and it's really a cool experience. That happened for me a long, long time ago, and I was directed to become a naturopathic physician. And when I made that decision finally to become a naturopath, all these doors just started automatically opening up. Now, maybe it's your path in life to go to naturopathic medical school and become a naturopath. Maybe that's it. I don't know. If you are inclined to help people with medical nutrition, with holistic therapeutics, then there is no better way to do that than with focusing on and building a longevity business. So my advice to you is, rather than go to naturopathic medical school, you're going to be out $200,000 more or less, because you're going to have to pay the school the tuition, and then you're going to have to pay to live there. You're going to have to devote 4, 5, or 6 years of your life to intensive training and education. And then you're going to come out of that with an education and a degree, and then you're going to have to start paying back your student loans. And then you're going to have to take another loan out to start a private practice somewhere, or hook yourself up with a group. And, it's going to be hard for the first 10, 15 years to actually pay off all of your debt and all of the loans and actually make a living which is comfortable. If instead of doing that, if for the next 4 years of your life, or 5 or 6, so however long it would take to become a naturopathic physician, you instead became a student of longevity, and you became a student of network marketing, and you worked at network marketing and longevity, and you worked at that the same amount that you would work in medical school, 5 or 6 years from now, you'll be a millionaire. You won't have any debt. You won't have any financial problems, and you would have helped in that 5 years thousands of people, which is way more than you could help in your entire career as a naturopath. Because when you're in private practice, there's only so many patients you can see a day. There's only so many. There's only so many teeth a dentist can drill. Now, having said that, I think it's a smarter, better way to dedicate your life to longevity than it is to become a naturopath. However, if you feel compelled, naturally to become a naturopath, then I want you to go to the National College of Naturopathic Medicine in Portland, Oregon, or Bastyr University in Seattle, Washington. Stick around, Lindsay. More to come. Finishing up the show today here, we're talking to Lindsay in Michigan, who's had one of the most remarkable testimonials I've heard in my 5-year stint with Youngevity about whether or not she should pursue a career in naturopathic medicine. So what are your thoughts on all this, Lindsay? What are you thinking?
Well, people take you more seriously when you have a degree. Like, all the people I talk to about Youngevity think I'm crazy. And since I started this program, my whole outlook on everything has just changed. I'm so in love, and I just realized, like, this is what I want to do.
Well, then if this is what you want to do, then you should take the steps forward and do it. And I have to tell you something that, you know, I can understand what you're saying, and I get it. And the fact of the matter is, Lindsay, that, well, I don't know how to say this without sounding like a jerk, right? But the fact that, not a jerk, but this is just a healthy dose of reality. Even when you're a naturopath, people are not going to listen to what you have to say. Now, more people are going to listen to what you have to say when you do have a degree after your name, and that's correct. So there is a certain amount of social cachet that you get that you will derive from that, and that's true. But even if you choose to go down this road, what I would counsel you to do is continue a Youngevity business while you're going to medical school, because if you can find a way to marry both of them, and it's not that difficult to do, then you're going to come out of school way ahead of the economic curve. You may even be able to pay for your entire education with your Youngevity revenue. Todd Smith, who, by the way, is going to be our special guest tomorrow, Todd Smith, one of the biggest money earners in Youngevity, he's been with Dr. Wallach forever, is going to tell us about his experience with bringing Youngevity, or trying to get Youngevity, into Australia, and what the pharmaceutical industry did to sabotage that and blow it up. It's a remarkable story. He's going to be on tomorrow in the first hour. But when he first got into Youngevity, his wife became pregnant with triplets, and he was in law school. He was studying to be a lawyer, and he needed to figure out how the heck he could pay for triplets, and so he did a Youngevity business, right? And by the time he graduated from law school, he was debt-free because he was able to pay off the entire education with his Youngevity revenue. So what one person can do, another person can do. The other frustrating thing from my point of view here, Lindsay, is that the stuff that you can learn with us through Youngevity and with following Dr. Wallach's recommendations and, you know, listening to my iteration of those is very different than what you're going to be taught in naturopathic medical school. Nobody does it like Dr. Wallach. So to a certain extent, it's going to be frustrating for you to be in naturopathic medical school. Of course, you're going to learn cool stuff. You're going to learn new stuff, and you are going to increase your knowledge of how the body works by remarkable degrees. And the therapeutics that you're going to have exposure to in naturopathic medical school are going to pale in comparison to what Dr. Wallach brings to the table. So, you know, there's another guy in my downline who's doing this, David Sullivan. He's going to be at Naturopathic Medical School in September. So maybe we're starting a trend here. I'll support you no matter what you do here, and if you can marry the two, I think it's a good thing. Have you done your prerequisites? Have you done the science courses that you need to get into Naturopathic Medical School yet?
No, I haven't.
All right, so that would be a good place for you to start. So you want to get in touch with Bastyr University or National College of Naturopathic Medicine. National College is in Portland, Oregon. Bastyr is in Seattle. Find out what the academic prerequisites are, and then, you know, start to secure those now. And then after your first semester doing your pre-med stuff, you'll have a sense of whether or not the academic road is the road that you want to walk down. Because I have to tell you something, Lindsay, once you are finally on the correct track of your life, you feel it. It's not, you feel it. And it becomes kind of the right thing to do. You're in the right place at the right time doing the right thing. So I would get on board now with the prereqs, the pre-med prerequisites, see how that feels, and then adjust appropriately as you move downstream. It's pretty remarkable, isn't it? I mean, who knew a year ago that you'd be considering this? I think it's awesome. I think you're awesome. Keep up the good work. Wish we could talk about this more, but we are all out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, Todd Smith tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss this interview. If you think the pharmaceutical industry is corrupt, well, baby, you don't know nothing. Tune in tomorrow, 3 o'clock Central Time. See you then.